Welcome to my cluttered garage. I'm really glad you're here. A place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds and sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, my friends. I am really glad you're here. Welcome to live stream number... Oh, I lost it. He's so smooth. Number 88 on Monday, October 17th, 2022. It's good to see you. I see in the live chat that there was like a pre-live stream party going on there with Chevhead Ed and Killing It Country and several, Mikey. So many of you, you were here, gosh, looks like 15 minutes ago, starting the party. So welcome and congratulations to you guys for being the first ones here. And thanks everybody else who piled in after that. So, and I see J&J Acres talking about snow in the Upper Peninsula, 8 inches or so. That's crazy. Keep that up there, my friend. Keep it up there. Hey, if you guys could do me a favor, if you also are on Facebook, I got a little message as soon as this started saying it was having trouble streaming to Facebook. So I don't know that we went on Facebook today. So may just be our YouTube friends today. Never had that happen before. Don't know why, but we're here on YouTube. So that's what we are doing. Anyway, getting distracted reading comments. As I always say, if it's your first time here, please say hi in the live chat so we can welcome you. This is an interactive live stream, and if you don't hear from me, you'll hear from folks in the comments. If you have questions or comments, they'll chime in. And if you do enjoy the live stream at any point, please hit that thumbs up because we do really appreciate it. And as far as about tonight's show, you saw in the thumbnail that we're going to have the owner, the founder of SawHaul, which was the subject of my latest video. If you happen to see that, was released over the weekend, and had a good time putting that together. So I reached out to Kenny from SawHaul and said, "Hey, do you want to come on the show and we can talk about your product?" And I think it's an interesting story, and it's a great. It's an American success story. That's what it is. So we're going to talk to Kenny tonight in just a few minutes, and I'm excited about that. So have your questions ready in the live chat because again, we're pretty interactive. Also, if you're new to the live stream, let us know where you found the channel. You know, did you find the channel on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and now on TikTok? Let me know. Let me know where you found the channel. Appreciate it. And normally what we're talking about on this live stream, just so you know, we talk about tractors and gardening and projects and outdoor projects, basically life in the country, and folks who either live in the country or used to live in the country or long to live in the country. You know, there's a lot of different kind of projects that we do when we own property that other people just don't have that luxury that we do. So so again, I welcome you. And we're going to be doing the giveaway later on, special giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Good news is everybody is going to have a chance to win the giveaway. I think everybody, but most people will. That's for sure. Let me check out the comments here, and then we will jump right in to bringing our guest on camera because we have limited time. We like to wrap up by 8 o'clock so that you can enjoy content other places, whether it be television or other favorite YouTubers, but I don't like to keep you all night, so try to respect that time. We'll try and wrap up. But there are no rules. You know, we can do whatever we want. But I will like to say hello to Brutal Bob and the other Bob, Purrs, Jalen Outdoors, James again at Killing It Country, who is just on the verge of that 1,000 subscriber mark. James is like what is it, James? Like 29 short? Like if you do like Kubota content, go over and check out Killing It Country. If you like what James is doing over there, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Oh, and speaking of 1,000 subscribers, I don't know if he's here tonight, but Phil from Peterson Farm of Nashville, Phil broke the 1,000 subscriber barrier, and he and his family put out a nice little thank you video. So congratulations, Phil, if you're watching or not. or if you're watching in the replay, congratulations, and we're really happy for you. Phil also does some pretty neat Kubota-related content. I mean, there's a lot of different content out there, but seems to be a core community of Kubota owners here, and that makes sense since my tractor is a Kubota, and that's what a lot of my content features. That's just how it works. And there's Chris over at the Watershed. There's Phil. I see you there. There he is. Howdy, Phil. Good to see you. Anyway, Chris from the Watershed is here, and our friend Ross and Margaret from New Jersey. So, and John Ritter. John's in Wisconsin today, huh? He left Minnesota to go to Wisconsin, 32 degrees. 94 deer. Wow. John Deere or Kubota? No, deer, real deer. Well, welcome, John. As many of you might recall, John Ritter was my very first live stream guest, and he will always hold that title because, you don't get a second chance to be a first guest, as they say. Don't they say that? All right, I'm just reading some comments here. Great. Well, look, let me know also, did you see the video about the SawHaul? If not, make sure you check that out after the live stream. Then tonight's guest will make a little more sense to you because that's what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to bring Kenny on here right now so we have lots of time to chat, get your questions ready. So let me introduce Kenny Finley from Chanute, Kansas, and the SawHaul Company. Hey, Kenny, how are you?
Good. How you doing tonight, Ed?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having us. We sure appreciate the time.
Absolutely. We, for those who don't know, actually nobody knows, this was kind of spontaneous. We didn't plan this weeks in advance. We just kind of came up with the idea, like, hey, I made the video. Why don't you come on and chat about the product? So again, we are really glad you're here, and I know looking at some of those early comments that folks are really glad to have you here as well. So you are the inventor, the creator, the founder of SawHaul. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. First of all, I was the idiot who ran over my chainsaw, though.
Well, that's we're going to get to that. So first, for anybody who might not know, tell us what the SawHaul is.
Perfect. The SawHaul it was the first universal chainsaw carrier that truly could be mounted to any kind of mobile machinery. Literally, if it has wheels or tracks, we can put a chainsaw on it.
Excellent. And look at that. There's a comment already from Margaret. She's buying a few of those SawHauls as Christmas gifts. So
oh, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So
they make excellent gifts.
Yeah, I mean, anybody with a tractor and a chainsaw can use one, or more. We'll talk about that as well. But you've expanded beyond tractors too at this point, which is great. So it's a universal chainsaw holder. I should have had a picture ready, but people can look it up. Most people are familiar. You see these things out there quite a bit. But basically, it's a bracket, and I mounted mine on the front end loader, and your chainsaw just drops in the scabbard and it holds it in place for you. It's a really a simple design, but so valuable because it's a pain in the neck to be carrying a chainsaw or anything else around on a tractor. So
and
you touched on this briefly. Tell us the backstory about how you came up with the idea. You can tell us the long version if you want.
I'll try to make it condensed. So we were going through a time when my wife wanted to go back to, for some unknown reason, wanted to go back to become a teacher. Loves kids, wanted to engage with them a lot more, and she decided that she wanted to change careers, and that's what she wanted to do. And in doing so, I was a claims adjuster, and in Kansas, summertime's claims, storms, you're pretty busy, but during the wintertime months, you're not near as busy. So I was cutting firewood and hedge posts and all that stuff on the side just to supplement our income, trying to help put her through college. And then She had saved and saved and saved and bought me a really nice saw. And 2 weeks later, I ran over it. Yeah, I did not want to go home that night at all.
How did you run over it?
It was in the bucket, just like everybody did. Put it in the bucket and sitting there driving, and all of a sudden, hit a pothole and
So the saw bounced out, and you
bounced
drove
out
over it.
and ran right over the top of it. Yeah.
And at that moment, you said there's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, really, the only way you have to put a chainsaw on any kind of mobile machinery right now, like in your bucket or at your feet, or things of that nature, and either you're cutting with it and it's 300 degrees when you take it out, or like when you go put it on your lap and it's
right.
You're either going to cut yourself, or it's going to get hot, or
you're going to get bar oil all over yourself because they're messy machines.
Yep. So I just started out by searching just something to buy. I wasn't looking to invent anything or anything like that. I'm a tinker at heart. That one thing kind of led to another, and then to another, and then about 5 iterations later, I was comfortable putting my name behind it, and it's kind of the sky's the limit since then.
Awesome. Let's go back 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how was the conversation when you got home that day?
Oh, it's horrible. It was horrible.
You did what?
Yes, I don't think I don't think we can repeat most of those words. I don't think.
Hey, I think you've made up for it, right? You redeemed yourself.
She's not near as mad anymore.
You redeemed yourself. Well, folks who are familiar with my channel, most of them know my story, where I had bought the Woodland Mills wood chipper, one of my most favorite attachments ever. One of my very first times using this wood chipper, I was going around the property. There were limbs that were down, and even when you use a wood chipper, sometimes you need to trim the limb so it fits in the chute and whatnot. So I was cleaning up piles of brush, and I had to move to another section of the property. So I thought, well, I've got no place to put this chainsaw. I'll throw it in the hopper, basically, and because I thought I'm only going a few hundred feet. Yeah. Threw it in the hopper. I drove to the next location. I set the chipper down in place, and I started it up, and I heard this strange sound, and I saw orange chips flying out of the chute from my Husqvarna chainsaw. And at that moment, I remembered the saw. So I chewed up. I had put it in with the bar facing out, and of course the saws are all plastic casings. It chewed up the handle all the way up to the gas tank, and it was like a $450 mistake.
Yep.
Because it couldn't be salvaged.
Yeah, and it happens. It happens so fast. I mean, just in the blink of an eye, you're like, oh, well, that really sucked.
It was. It wasn't like I had left the saw in there since last week. I literally, picked up the machine, drove it a few hundred feet, and just didn't remember that I had just put the saw back there and chipped up my saw. And
the bad part is, like, I don't know how many times when the saw's in the bucket, you're sitting there moving around and whatnot, and it seems like it's like out of sight, out of mind, and then you're like, oh, I just need to move that little bit of brush right there. And the next thing you know, you end up piling it up into a brush pile. You get to trying to work too fast sometimes, and it costs you in the long run.
It just happens. And if you have an implement on the back, you might try and balance the saw on the implement or find a way to finagle it in there, and it just doesn't work. I mean, these machines they're not designed to really carry anything but yourself. So it's just how they are. So it's great. So you came up with this idea, and I imagine you must have made like a handmade prototype to start with, and tell us how it kind of evolved into what it is today.
So it's really a neat story. My cousin is actually the head technology teacher at a suburb of a Kansas City school. And for a class project, that was right when like the 3D printers started coming out.
Oh yeah.
And I drew it up, and literally the very first SawHaul was a high school class project. So it gave them an opportunity to get some real life experience on, or having a problem and discovering how to come up with a solution to it. So I gave them you know, for them to be able to take it from a drawing on a napkin to a CAD program. It was pretty neat to see. And then once after we went with the first few prototypes, we knew that there were obviously going to have to be changes to it. And you live and learn pretty quick.
Right.
And we had finally kind of settled with working with B&W Trailer Hitches out of Humboldt, Kansas. I'm sure most of you probably heard of them. They do 95% of our metal manufacturing, and it's just right up the road, 8 miles up in Humboldt, Kansas. And we knew this was going to be big. We just didn't know how big it was going to be. And
Right.
it was like, maybe we can keep everything made local. Let's try it. What if it fails, it fails on keeping it local. But let's try. So now Young's Welding here in Chanute, Kansas makes the other remaining portions of our metal fabrication, and then Neodesha Plastics out of Neodesha, Kansas does all of our plastics engineering and production right now. So literally every component of the SawHaul is made within 30 miles of our hometown in southeast Kansas in Chanute.
That's great. And I'm glad you brought that up because I certainly was going to, because I know you're very proud of the fact that this equipment is made locally. And you talked about the plastic, which is the scabbard part, and that's an interesting piece. I was really impressed with the thickness, the durability of that.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I don't know if it's like a certain kind of plastic or not, but it's really a nice piece.
Well, thank you. Yeah, when we were initially making them, people were like, "Well, all it is a piece of metal and a piece of plastic." And it's like,
Right.
that's not really what it is. I mean, it's not your ordinary type of plastic. It's a extremely heavy duty plastic material that we use that
Yeah,
has
it's not like the scabbard or the cover that you get with your chainsaw. That's just a flimsy piece, which protects the chain and protects you from getting cut. But this is actual structural piece of material, and very strong.
Yeah.
And it's got to be more work to offer the custom colors that you do, because now you've got to either custom
Mm-hmm.
process or have inventory for 4 or 5 different colors. That was
Yeah.
very ambitious. I think you could have just offered black, but you went and offered.
Well, that's one of the key components of us is we actually listen to what the customers are saying, what they want. We love feedback. And speaking of that, well, number one, literally every one of those scabbards is hand painted by our team.
Okay.
Um, so there's a lot of sweat equity in all those extra colors. But what we have done is we've listened to what the market has said, and we
Mhm.
have decided to transition from SawHaul into GearHaul, and offer a whole line of products that we will be able to carry any kind of tool that you're going to need when you're out working. We have a solution for it.
Yeah, that's great. I want to touch on that as well. In fact, I was looking for a title that I made, but I can't find it now. So I was just going to put up your website, because you mentioned SawHaul and GearHaul. So either one, I think, take you to the same landing
Yeah.
page. But we can go kind of back and forth, I guess, between the SawHaul. But you mentioned other products. So can
Mhm.
you tell us a little bit about some of the other
Yeah, absolutely.
products that you've started to
So
offer now?
what we have done is we have made a modular type of piece, that will be a base mount that you'll be able to mount onto any kind of machinery. And then my vision of it is we have a wall mount that will mount to the wall. And then you look at the wall and say, okay, this is the piece of equipment that I need to use today, whether it be a bucket or a saw or a weed eater or any of those type of things. And then you turn around and then you look at what equipment you're going to be needing that day, and then everything's interchangeable. So, we're still we have the gun haul that is going to be we have it manufactured, but we had to wait for prices to come down on the plastics after this. But yeah, we got a toolbox that has an additional SawHaul bracket on there. We have a bucket carrier, for all the landscapers, or like even if you're just taking a 5 gallon of corn down to feed the deer, or
Right.
And then one of the neat things about that is it's collapsible and it folds down when not in use. So
Okay.
yeah,
Very nice.
Weed eaters, I mean, you name it, we're going to be able to carry it.
That's awesome. And you mentioned the price of plastics. Now, I imagine because you're making everything locally, you were maybe, I don't know if I'm correct or not, to think that you might not have been hit as hard with some of the inventory problems that other manufacturers have faced, sourcing and whatnot, or did you have trouble with any of that? I know that the pricing certainly got way out of whack for you, I'm sure, but did you have any difficulty with supply chain?
Supply chain, we did not have any issues.
Okay.
It was, the prices went up, obviously. But that's one of the key elements of keeping things local is we see these people in church. We see them at the grocery store. We see them at, going out to dinner. And it's a lot harder to just say, well, I don't have it when you're face to face with them and you're like, hey, I need 1,000 of these brackets, and
Right.
they're like, yeah, we got to get Kenny taken care of. It
does help to be right front and center, right? Like,
when you can go knock on the door, it does help a lot. Put it that way.
Right. Yeah, that's funny that they'll see like, oh, that's right, he needs those pieces like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, and it's so great that you have those resources, relatively locally to where you are. That's not always easy to find for folks either. So,
it's a match made in heaven between all of our different companies, because it's like we literally just drive up to the factory and pick it up and drive back.
Yeah.
So it's and as far as like the manufacturing side, like if we have a defect or a problem or anything like that, or if we were wanting a design change, we're 8 minutes away. It's not
right.
We're able to do everything face to face and all that good stuff. I mean, even like our nuts and bolts are sourced from our local hardware store.
Right.
And we've partnered with Tri-Valley, which is a organization that provides jobs for the developmentally disabled, and they package up a lot of our nuts and bolts and hardware for us, and try to give them a leg up also. So we literally have everything made right here.
Yeah, and I noticed my packaging was packed with local newspaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
I read a little bit of the Chanute Times as I was unpacking it.
Yeah. It's funny because we'll get like emails like from people over in Australia and New Zealand and Germany and whatnot. They'll send a picture of them sitting there reading the paper. But
that's funny.
Yeah, it's like really neat because it's like we have all the little old ladies around town saving their newspapers for us and stuff like that. So the pride that Chanute has put behind us and believing in us and our story, we want to make them proud.
Yeah, that's great. And I looked up Chanute, and it looks like you're pretty much dead center in the middle of the country, aren't you?
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, we literally can have any product anywhere in 2 days. So works out pretty well.
That's great. That's great. Well, you got to do that now with Amazon offering that. So now you're right in there with them. So that's great. Speaking of which, you have some, I think, some other retail outlets as well. People can order directly from sawhall.com,
Mm-hmm.
or you have some other outlets. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. We sell on Amazon, of course. We've been a big player there for pretty much since our inception. We sell on our own website, like we talked about. We do sell on the Walmart marketplace. We were invited to. Walmart has been investing a whole bunch of like $350 billion in trying to bring jobs and manufacturing back into the states. When they saw what happened to China, during the supply chain crisis, they said, "Whoa, let's put the brakes on this. Let's invest in our own country, our own people."
Yeah.
So we were invited to go talk to them, and we are still talking to them and whatnot. Another big one is that we are actually going to be talking to Lowe's on November 2nd. So coming up real quick.
Wow. Congratulations and good luck with that. That's exciting. Boy, it would be so fun for me and for the viewers to see your product in a
Yeah,
familiar store. To walk by and then say, "Oh, I know that guy." That's
yeah, exactly, right?
that's really neat. There was a specific question here. I don't know if let's see. From Woodster 300, I'm going to pull that up. He has a question about mounting the SawHaul on a cab model. Uh, don't know if you know anything specific about the B2650 or maybe cab models in general, what you recommend for mounts.
Yeah, on the cab models, yeah, we absolutely mount on those. The sometimes we have to get a little creative. If he would like to send me an email, my email is kenny@sawhall.com, and he go ahead and send that over, and I'll look at that specific model, and we can sure get you hooked up.
Sure. Now, I mean, if it's a cab or not, if you're mounting it on the loader, that wouldn't make any difference at all, right? That's
Well, the reason I say that, on some of the cab models on the bigger Kubotas, there's a light right in front of it. And what we have done is we got creative and we made a large kit, and you can advance that bracket up further towards the lift arm, where it's not in the way of the lights or anything like that.
I see.
It's a little bit of it's a workaround, so
Right.
it works out great.
And I did read in your instructions that some the hardware is included, but there's always you might need to make a little bit of adjustment, or whether you need a different bolt or whatnot. But I know you try to include whatever's needed, and in my kit, everything went right together without any problem at all. But since every tractor is different, it's hard to be 100% universal, I would imagine.
Yes, not gonna lie, that can be a nightmare.
Uh-huh.
It's like I don't want to say it, but I think John Deere sometimes sits there and goes, "Let's see how we can mess with Kenny this week."
Let's change the design again, right?
Yeah, it's like you get it figured out, and it's like it's a new loader model. Lovely.
Yeah. But
I
the
saw-
beauty is you are a small business still, and that you're responsive to people, and like you said, you gave out your personal email there, and happy to help people.
I mean, our customer service is phenomenal. We take care of people. That's what we do. I saw a question on there a little bit ago about RNF Farm Supply here down in Erie, and that was one of our first dealers. And
Okay.
it's funny that that was mentioned, because we literally were just on the cover of Acres Magazine, the fall issue. I think 3 weeks ago, I think is when that came out. So they were our dealer, RNF, and that's why I brought that up.
That's great. That's exciting. So when was SawHaul born? I don't know if we mentioned how old the company is, or how long you've been producing these.
We filed our articles of incorporation in 2017.
Okay.
And when about 2019 hit is when we developed a scabbard.
Right.
I was still doing a full-time job doing this as kind of hobby stuff. And then I retired from being a claims adjuster in 2021 and have been, or maybe 2020, August of 2020, I believe. And we have just taken off since then. Since when I could devote all my time to it, it's really taken off since then.
So you're a young company, but growing so much. I mean, you're
exponentially.
You've got so far to go. You know there's a question here about Canada. Do you ship to Canada?
Absolutely. To date, we have sold in 32 different countries. We have our exclusive. We have an Amazon store in Canada just for that, or we ship direct to Canada from here. It's a little bit cheaper going on the Amazon.ca, but yeah, we ship there just about every day.
Right. And there's a question from John here about how many mounts you're producing each day. Do you do a whole run of product, or do you kind of build it as orders come in, or?
We what we do is we try to stay ahead of the game. Like efficiency wise, it would not make sense at all to build one unit at a time. We like the base that you used, like we'll build 1,000 of those, and then we'll fold the boxes, and then we'll stuff them, and then ship them. We currently have about 8 warehouses throughout the United States that we keep full of inventory at all times.
Very nice. Yeah.
You never know. You have to caveat all that with 99% of the time, put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a question here from Jalen Outdoors about the size range of scabbards. I think I saw on your website that you offer different lengths, or is it one size?
Yeah, we offer a 20-inch. That's kind of our standard kit. And again, we listen to the customers, and they said they wanted some 28s and they wanted some 36s. So,
wow.
These molds are ridiculously expensive to have produced. So we kind of have to pick and choose where we want to go on that. But that has given us a really good broad base to be able to fill 98% of orders.
Yeah.
And then if somebody had like a 5-foot bar, they can still cut the end off.
That's true, and just let it hang through, right? Right. Exactly. So, and most of us, weekenders generally don't have anything longer than a 20 anyway. I mean, there's some serious woodcutters out there who would have that 28 or whatever, but I think 18 to 20 is probably, I would think that's probably the most popular bar size.
Absolutely. And then with the new snap lock system that we've developed, you can rotate that to where it's not just straight up and down if need be. Like say you were on a short tractor, and you did have a 28-inch, bar, you could still rotate that to where it would allow you to still functionally carry that without it getting in the way and everything else.
Right. Okay. I don't want to put you on the spot, but a few people are asking about discount codes, specifically asking if there'd be an MCG discount code. But I mean, do you offer any discounts through any resellers or anything like that people would go to, or is it?
Actually, if we could have that up by the first discount we offer is a first responder discount. They automatically get 5% through GovX if they do that. And with most of our YouTube partners and whatnot, we do have discount codes available. I was going to mention that we could set up a 5% after the end of the show, where if they went to the website, they could get that 5% discount.
Okay, there you go, folks. How's that? That's great. All right, I'm going to look through some other questions here. But like I said, if you see anything that stands out, certainly pull it out.
And
there you go, James. I know James and his wife are both first responders.
Well, awesome. So thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And we have diversified ourselves also going forward. Um, we're going to focus a lot more on the fire departments and the forestry services and industries like that, instead of just focusing on the the single 1 and 2 store type deals. We want to be able to partner with the government and give them the ability and the capabilities and the equipment to do their jobs better to help save lives.
Right. Right. Okay. And a question here about veterans as well. Do you do anything?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, it's that same GovX discount, and it's 5% on that.
What do you mean by GovX? What is that? Is that
So GovX is a third-party organization that just verifies that you were in the military.
Okay.
You can sign up or in the military, or a police officer, or firefighter, any of those type of things. You can access it right through our website at gearhole.com and sign up for that and get a discount through there.
Great. Great. I have a question about a product too. Now, at the end of my video, I showed your magnetic phone case.
Uh-huh.
And that generated quite a bit of curiosity from viewers and generated some comments and some questions. So tell me about that.
So that pretty much it is a cell phone carrier on steroids. The really cool thing about that is literally it's the first cell carrier designed specifically for mobile machinery. That is enclosed, dust resistant, moisture resistant, all those type of things. You can use it as a GoPro. You turn your camera around, you can videotape all that. We say the magnet is 50 plus pound, 50 plus pound magnet, but we don't want to lead anybody straight. Actually, it's a 60-pound magnet, but
right,
we can't verify every single one.
Hey, if you have a 50-pound cell phone, you're in the wrong you're in the wrong decade anyway.
I very easily pick up a chunk of I-beam about that big. I mean, it's pretty stout magnet.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. That's for sure.
When we were field testing, it was pretty funny. We have it. It's able to be tethered to your equipment as well. So just in case something did happen and knock it off, 9 times out of 10, it's going to hit another piece of metal and still stick to it.
Right.
But just in case, we also send it out with an attached tether. And I was throwing the call haul up against the tractor, just trying to destroy it, and I dented my tractor. Like,
how about that? Did you tell your wife that one? Ran over the SawHaul, dented the tractor.
He just did.
He just told her. She's back there in the background listening. She hears every word. So, and looking at that, it's the call haul, which is kind of clever. That fits right in with your other products. It's got a nice plexiglass cover on the front. The hinges, they look like they might be stainless steel. I don't know if they are. Stainless steel hinges and strong springs on the hinges. So even though you can lock that plastic cover in place, it would take a lot even to open that plastic cover. So, I had it on my tractor, and I threw the phone in there and kind of snapped it shut, and I wasn't worried about it flopping out. Maybe I should have put the stretchy cover over, but I didn't. It seemed like it was going to hold just fine.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's that additional peace of mind.
Yeah, and it's a good size. I mean, you're either planning for the future, or I don't know if how big phones can get, but it's it's a good size. So it's not.
And it's also nice to just be able to have your phone. If you're using equipment, where's your phone at? Usually in your pocket.
Right.
You have to stop, unbuckle, stand up, shut the equipment off, and get into your phone to be able to, or get into your pocket to be able to see if,
Yeah.
and you look and go, oh, I didn't want to talk to them anyway.
Right.
Now it's just right there in front of you. I mean, you sit there and play music and
Yeah.
work at the same time and see what's going on in the world.
Yeah, my tractor has a cup holder. It has a 12-volt port to run a phone charger and a little pocket, but it's not very deep. And there have been a few times where I tossed the phone in the holder and thought, I don't really feel comfortable with that. So with your call haul device, I can put the phone in there with the clear cover. I can stick it right on the hood, facing me, so it's out of the way, but it's still within reach. I can see the screen if it lights up. I a lot of times use if I'm out doing wood chipping or whatever, I've got those 3M work tunes, which are ear protection, but they're also Bluetooth. So my phone, if I get a text or a call, I'll hear it through that, but yet it can still be out of the way. And boy, you're right that so many times it's in my pocket, and you got to stop and stand up, and it's a bit of a hassle. But
Yeah.
so that's kind of a good balance where it's convenient and it's still within reach. So good stuff.
Thank you.
Chris is trying to call you out on tractor manufacturers. You might not want to answer that if you're a Kubota man or or John Deere.
Well, I gotta say, I've been blue through and through for about 25 years. So yeah, I'm a New Holland guy.
New Holland guy. All right.
I've had 3 of them.
I don't.
There's my latest one back.
There you go. That's actually your machine, huh?
That's my machine and me. Yep.
And you. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I don't even know enough to tell. I think it seems like they're all good these days. That they all make pretty decent machines, and that there's certain things people like better about one versus the other. But
like Southeast Kansas is kind of like considered the hedge post capital of the world, fence post wise. So we, like I say, we cut a lot of hedge posts, and some of the farmers want those left up just a little bit higher. That way they can come back with a dozer and take out the roots later. So what I was really looking for was clearance area on the bottom. So that has swayed me through my time.
Okay. So they have a higher ground clearance, or
yeah. Not all of them, but
yeah, but that's the thing. You have to find the one that fits your needs, and whatever one that is, that's what you get. So
yep.
So there's a question here about an iPod case. Wouldn't that work as well? I'm not sure what.
Yeah, it actually would fit right in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. As a matter of fact, there's no reason why that wouldn't fit in there.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it's almost the size of a mini iPad. I don't know that would fit, but still, it's a good size. So, excellent. Hey, we also talked about doing a giveaway tonight. Why don't we jump on that, because we're going to wrap up here in 15 minutes. But tell us now. What I normally do is a sticker giveaway, but we're doing something special tonight. So I will still send these stickers. What I've got here is I pulled out every sticker I've made, which is 4 different sizes: the bumper sticker, the black and white, also this little one. There's only a couple of these left in the world, so I'm going to give away the full sticker pack, and I have no limitations on who can enter to win this. Normally we say if you already won, don't enter, but since I'm giving the whole pack away, I'm going to say anybody can enter to win. But you're throwing something in this giveaway as well, so tell us about that, Kenny.
Well, we figured, I was watching all the comments before we came on, and we figured with this nice little Arctic blast that's coming down, we figured that would let somebody like to have a nice, warm SawHaul hoodie.
That's very nice. And you're right, perfect time of year for that. I didn't ask you earlier, so again, putting you on the spot, I want to ask on behalf of our Canadian friends, are they included in this giveaway? Can we get it to them, or is it only for...
Yep. we're good to go.
See that world's best customer service. There it is.
Yep. We make it happen.
We'll make it happen. So that is great. So I see a comment there from CJ over at Mallard 5 Farmhouse. His old buddy Kenny. So
oh yeah.
how you doing, CJ?
Yeah. Howdy, CJ. How you doing today?
A lot of folks are going to this Equip Expo next week. Are you part of that, or?
Well, we had full intentions on going until we got a phone call from Lowe's. And
okay.
So we were already going to be in North Carolina at the same time for the Arbor Expo. We are, stay tuned pretty quick. There's some other big things that are coming out that
you can only do so much, Kenny. You can only do so much. You got to follow the lead. I get it.
Yeah. That we're talking to a few of some pretty good things that a lot of you are going to like.
Hey, that's great.
We already had some appointments set up for that one, but next year, yes, we will be there.
Well, we look forward to hearing from you. That's exciting. Yeah, Linda's asking if you can show or demonstrate any product, but we did that on the video. I don't think you have anything in the office that you can show.
We're in
but
right now.
You
can look up on any on our website as well, and it shows some of them. And then you, of course, have the awesome video that you made for us, and you described it perfectly.
Great, thank you. And that the one thing we added in that video was that I forget what it's called. Was it the Quick Lock 360 or the Snap Lock 360? Now is that a new addition, and that's sold separately, right?
Yes, that's a different type of kit. Yeah, so you can buy the base, and then you can buy the Snap Lock kit for the tractor or the ROPS or all those different types of combinations.
Yeah. So if you can get away with just a straight mount, you can buy just that kit. But if you'd like the rotating mount, you can get that Snap Lock 360. So, and as I demonstrated on my video, if I didn't have that on the mule side by side, it wouldn't really have worked for me too well. So I was able to rotate it out of the way and open the door, and so it really solved a problem there. It was really good.
Well, thank you.
So great. Well, look, let's do this giveaway. What the folks will have to do is I'm going to show a word on the screen, and folks who watch the live stream are familiar with this. But what they'll do is enter the word in the live chat exactly the way I show you here. So here's the word: #scabbard. It's a longer word than we normally have.
Like it.
But folks can enter to win not only the MCG sticker pack, but also a hoodie from SawHaul. Yeah. So that is a fun one. So
nice, man. These things are cozy too. I'm not gonna lie.
That's nice. That's great.
Yep.
So just enter #scabbard as you see it right there. It can be all uppercase, all lowercase, but make sure you use the hashtag. Make sure you have no spaces, and enter just as you see there. And we'll see who the winner will be. We should get several entries tonight. But this is take a look at how there Tony G wrote it, scabbard, just like that.
Perfect.
Take your time. No need to enter more than once because the system will throw out any extra entries. But if you make a mistake, just retype it and enter again.
And we will get that code up just like probably within 5 minutes of getting off here.
Nice. If we can make that code MCG, that'd be great.
Sound like a plan.
And I can also I'll modify the description of that last video, and I can put a note in there for folks as well. If they read the description, they'll see it in there too.
Okay.
So, and that'll be for a 5% discount. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
That's great. Excellent. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
On behalf of the viewers, we thank you too. So, all right. So we're going to give this just another moment. Hey, thank you, Chris, reminding people to hit that like button if you're watching from the live stream. I see now that we did go live on Facebook. There was some kind of glitch there. It wasn't said it was having a problem, but I guess it kept trying and finally went live. So we're live streaming to both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. So we've got viewers on both platforms. But thanks for the reminder, Chris. All right, we've got 38 entries. Going to hit this draw button in just a moment. Can we get to 40? Can 2 more people enter? Be a nice round number. All right. Well, this is your last chance. I'm going to hit the enter button. I'm hovering over it. Here we go. All right, let's see who the winner's going to be. Oh, 39. Somebody snuck in there.
Yeah, but
Here we go. Drum roll. The winner is Tony G. Congratulations, Tony G. Tony G is our winner tonight of the sticker pack and the SawHaul hoodie. Tony's a longtime viewer. He's got Kubota equipment. He's got Coyote equipment, so he'll be out wearing that hoodie for sure.
Perfect.
So what I will ask Tony to do is to shoot me an email at contactmcgtv@gmail.com with your shipping address, and I will forward that to you, Kenny, and then you can get your part done there. So congratulations, Tony G, on being our winner tonight. Good deal. All right.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna shut this music off. I can't find it.
And congratulations on the win.
All right, that is great. Let's see. Are there any final questions here before we wrap up? Are there any other products that we didn't talk about? So you got the SawHaul, the call haul,
The bucket haul, the tool haul, the gas and oil carrier.
Okay.
The gun haul will be coming out probably next year.
Is the gas and oil carrier, is that in production right now?
We are in testing.
Okay, so that's a new product coming out. Great. Wow.
Yeah.
And so the gearhaul.com, are you going to kind of be transitioning over to that as the main website, do you think? Or okay.
Yeah, we're right smack dab in the middle of the rebranding from the SawHaul to the Gear Haul.
Right. Well, that's great. Great to see the expansion, and gosh, I just wish you so much luck with your conversations with those larger retailers.
Thank you, Ed.
And it's an exciting story. So we're all going to be following along to see where things go, and I hope you'll come back and talk to us again and let folks know what's happening, because that's
I'd love to do it.
You've got a lot of friends here for sure. So you were talking about your company and the size of it. Chris is asking about your employees. Can you give us an idea what size your company is? I mean, obviously you're working there every day, and is your wife still teaching, or is she now?
Yeah, she's still teaching. She wouldn't put up with me every day being.
It's good to have that separation sometime. Yeah, I get it.
She's like, I'm ready for school to start back up.
Right.
But right now we currently employ 7 full-time people.
Mm-hmm. That's no easy task. That is not easy.
No.
So enough said. Yeah. So, but that's great. That's great. And God bless your wife there for being an educator. It's an important job too. So I'm glad she's still doing it. That's fantastic. Yeah. So great. All right. Well, listen, Kenny, it's been a pleasure talking with you tonight. I really appreciate it, and I think the folks here watching enjoyed it as well. Again, I hope you'll come back and see us. Keep in touch with new offerings and exciting announcements. I'll be happy to share it on the live stream here going forward, and keep people posted. But you've all seen Kenny shared his email address. If you have questions about the products, you can email Kenny directly at kenny@sawhaul.com. You can go to you can go to sawhall.com or gearhall.com to learn more about the products. We're going to be setting up a 5% discount code MCG. So a lot of folks have said they're interested in the product, so they can enter that in as soon as you get that set up. You said you think you can do that even as early as tonight. So
yep, I should have it done in 5-10 minutes.
yeah, well, you're you're an hour behind us, so you're got plenty of time.
Still early here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So good deal. All right. Well, again, I can't thank you enough. Again, good luck to you, and I hope that hope we hear from you soon, and maybe see you at some of these shows in the future too.
We'll be around.
All right. Thanks
All
so
right.
much, Kenny.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. Thank you, folks, for watching tonight. I really do appreciate you being here. As always, if you enjoyed the live stream, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, come subscribe on Facebook, follow on YouTube, check us out on Instagram and TikTok for some fun, short, silly videos and whatnot. But gosh, it's fun to talk to you every Monday night, and I really appreciate that you come back here and spend your Monday evening with me. And it's been such a great way to start off the week for me, and very touching to see the comments where people, say that they really look forward to Monday nights. So if we can get you to look forward to Monday morning now, that would be another challenge. But Monday night now is a great thing. So thanks again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next time.